start of it in old New
Yeah, I just started recording. Like, it makes a difference. I can just edit this front shit out anyway. So, it's like, oh, now we're live. But no, Ronnie, this is historic. The 50th episode, the half century mark of Tony Talks. And
Once
you've been the
again,
most. I had to bring you back.
setting records.
Did you say setting records, making moves?
Tony Talks.
Yeah, it's all about Tony.
Every time I show up, historic event.
Yeah, that's right. And the important thing is that this show is all about Tony, nobody else. Okay, so
That's right. That's right. Get into where you go with that.
Oh,
Cut you off, but go ahead. You go.
No, thanks. I want to thank you for all you could contribute, not just by coming on the show, but by sharing stuff, saying, "Hey, my buddy, he's like the smartest guy I know. He's also really good looking. I want everybody to come on his podcast to see his."
I emphasize that part. Whenever I share a post for Tony Talks or I recommend an episode or anything, the first thing I usually say is, first of all, really good looking guy.
Only the YouTube people will be able to see that.
But yeah, no, I mean, it's it's my pleasure coming on. Obviously, I wouldn't come if I didn't enjoy doing it. We've done it before. We've had plenty of conversations. It's something I enjoy doing.
Yeah, you come every time.
I'm a very opinionated person. Huh?
You come every time.
What'd you say? Yeah, we do.
These children.
You threw me off with that one. But yeah, no, I mean, I like coming on. I like the podcast. I like the stuff you do. I wouldn't share it if I didn't. And, fourth time's back.
This is the fourth time. And, really, it's been more than that because we had one that the audio was all fucked up.
Yeah, that's true. So just like that, when I had my We the Fans podcast, when you came on for the second episode.
That's right.
And we didn't, that one didn't record. You got me back now. So now, we're even. It always happens, though.
And, it's good to note right now, podcasting in general, it's something I like doing. I like talking to all these fucking people. Now the guests that came on before, like, this guy talks about us like we're fucking people.
All these fucking people.
I like talking.
I love talking to these fucking people.
Yeah, I love talking to these. No, they're all. It's cool to have different backgrounds on and everything like that.
Yeah. It's interesting. It definitely is interesting getting into the podcast game and talking to people that you would never think you would ever talk to somebody as far as the things you learn about them and things that people have been through and experiences. And I got to say, doing podcasts in the past, I've spoken to and spoken about things and people that I probably normally wouldn't have had conversations with.
It's like if you're peeling back an onion, I'm talking to somebody and you see all the
because onions have layers.
Because they have layers, ogres. Like Shrek.
like ogres do.
No, really good.
And cakes have layers.
So yeah, it's like having your cake and eating it too. No. It's fun. It's cool. It's a good way to. I feel like half my education as an adult has come from listening to different type of podcasts. So trying to get guests on that could educate people and educate myself really too. It's pretty cool. And you were talking. You talk about the podcast. So you were on. You had. We were on the Liberty Shaman Network. You and I.
We did Liberty Shaman Network together, which we have some pretty good episodes from there too.
Yeah, we do.
We did a bunch of football, UFC. We talked about a lot of at the time Bitcoin, and I think there was one quarterback that we brought up every week. Who was it?
No, we brought up P. Diddy every
I
week.
remember who it was.
We brought
Yeah,
up
and there was a quarterback too.
Terry Bradshaw.
It was Blake Bortles.
Oh, Blake
Blake
Bortles. Yeah, what?
Bortles.
Well, I thought of Terry Bradshaw
Yeah,
because
Diddy was on almost every episode.
yeah, we had to keep mentioning
Terry
Diddy
Bradshaw, yeah.
because you called him.
Terry Bradshaw, I'll say it. I say it all the time. The worst, best quarterback ever.
That's probably
Of the list of all the best quarterbacks ever, he's at the bottom.
And then when you first came on this show, we talked about NFL draft recap. Was the first episode.
Yep. Yeah.
And it's been it's been a minute.
Yeah,
That was
I
in
feel like
April.
that was so long
some
ago.
shit, right?
Yeah. That was
It's
at the
fun-
end of April.
What's funny is when I would like look for sports themed episodes, I thought you'd be a good guest. But then now you are, and you have been really for a while, but I kind of like zeroed you in as like a sports guy,
Yeah.
'cause you're a douche. No,
Makes sense. Makes sense.
no, but you talk about you get into politics you're always doing something on Facebook and whatever. And we had
I've
the episode with Ricky. That was a great episode. That was one of my favorites. People haven't listened to that one.
The one with Ricky was a really good one because it went so many places and went so deep into each topic, But yeah, I've usually stayed away from politics until this whole coronavirus thing happened. And then I don't know, you can't breathe air without it being political in some type of way these days. So that's kind of what pulled me in. And then my extreme disagreement with one side of it, we don't have to get into it, but my extreme disagreement with one side of the political spectrum also, yeah, it basically just pushed me further and further away and made me kind of, I guess, not emotional, but more and more involved, I guess, kind of would be the word.
Right.
Or wanting to be knowledgeable,
And
yeah, I just think that everything became so political with everything going on that it kind of, for a lot of people, and I guess this is kind of more how I feel, like you're kind of forced to be political.
Dude,
So
I got blocked by somebody. I got blocked by somebody on Facebook because they posted something that said, "Oh, I don't want this fucking thing. This will be the only thing." Because I already started bringing it up. They posted.
That's right. Instagram's burying my account right now. So
burying your account? What do you mean? Because you post
burying my account. Oh yeah, I'm not getting the views that I used to get. Like as of in overnight, I saw it happen where I was getting. And listen, it's not crazy numbers, but my Instagram page, if you want to follow, it's Ronnie_media. Quick note though, that may be changing soon, so follow everything else that happens in this podcast for news. But anyway, so yeah, overnight I was getting, like I said, I have like 3,000 followers, 3,800 followers, something like that, and I was getting on average on any one of my stories anywhere from 50. I used to get like 600 before they messed with the algorithm. But I was getting recently anywhere from 50 to about 150 person per like story post. One morning I woke up and I can't get more than 15 now as of like last Thursday. So for about a week, I haven't been able to get really more than 15, 20 views on my story. Because Instagram, because I was sharing a lot of conservative pages, a lot of things like that, and yeah, Instagram started burying me, I guess, because there's the whole social media attack on conservative posts, especially Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. So now I'm laying low.
You're laying low, but
I haven't posted anything in my story.
You're laying low, but What's your plan in the future? Are you looking to like have another podcast? Like what are you trying to do? Are you trying to like what's the story with you? And because I know you're passionate about this, and it seems like it's a matter of time before you do start one and something happens. So like what's the current play?
Is this a setup? Is that what this is?
I'm asking. I need to know. I think a lot of people would agree that
So
you would
do I
have
do the thing?
do the
Do I do
thing.
the thing? Did I do the thing? All right. So to answer your question, and for I'm sure anybody that's listening is so confused right now. Yeah. So you're right. I am passionate about podcasting. I've had podcasts in the past. We mentioned we did the Liberty Shaman Network. I bring it up every now and then. I had the We the Fans Network, which was a sports-based podcast. I had 30-minute timeout, which I did with my man Boomer over in Iowa. Yeah, so I've had a bunch of timeouts. I had We're Just Fans back in the day, which was, I think, one of the first or second ones I ever did, which
I remember
was my
that.
first sports podcast. Yeah, that was a good one with my boy Zach, Zach and his friend Nick. So yeah, I mean, I've been podcasting and making. And then I had the last one I had was Life's Not a Box of Chocolates, which was started by my friend Anthony. We had some awesome interviews on there. Things just kind of fell apart, just working differences. But yeah, I am passionate about podcasts. I've been doing it for about 4 or 5 years, one or the other. I lost count. But yeah, it's definitely something that I do want to do in the future. And, that's why I'm glad to be here on Tony Talks. But Ronnie Talks is on its way. So
What is that?
check that out. That is...
Dude,
Here
you're
comes one
ripping off the
more.
Tony Talks logo, you prick.
I am kind of ripping off the Tony Talks logo. You're yellow and blue. I'm yellow and red. Other way around.
Other
You're
way
yellow
around.
and red. I'm yellow and blue. But it is all part of the brand new The Talks Media Network. We got a slight glare there, but we'll take care of that. The Talks Media Network, Tony Talks, Ronnie Talks. As you can see, the color coordination is there, red, blue, and yellow. And so it's the Talks Media Network. We've mentioned just now in naming the other podcast, we had the Liberty Shaman Network, and we had the We the Fans Network between the two of us. But was it really a network? No, they were really just podcasts. And Tony, you know this. It's conversations that we've had in the past. Me and you have always kind of been really interested in creating a podcast network and having multiple podcasts and having collaborative efforts from different shows and different creativity, different ideas and points of view and things like that. So we've been talking for the past few days, and leading up to my 4th appearance on Tony Talks, we've decided we're gonna finally make this network, and we're gonna make the Talks Media Network, and we're gonna have Tony Talks, Ronnie Talks. Anyone else that's interested can come to us, and if you want, you could have your own talks show, not a talk show, the Talks show, and we could set one up. Obviously we'll go through a whole process of what.
Yeah, well, you'll have to be
ideas,
vetted.
What you'll have to be vetted in. But if you want to find us now all together, the Talks Media Network, Tony Talks, Ronnie Talks will be available soon. Tony Talks available now. Check them both out. And I mentioned Instagram might change. Right now you can follow me on Instagram at Ronnie_media. But if you can't find it there, most likely I changed it to Ronnie Talks or Ronnie_talks or some version of that, which
Ronnie
put out
Talks
there when it's
Ronnie
ready.
Talks 8.
Yeah, Ronnie Talks 8 maybe.
That's how I do Tony Talks.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're here.
Yeah, this was it kind of came organically. We were just talking, and you throw an idea out and you play, because you told me you were thinking about doing something, and then I was like, we had the same goals really, or they line up with each other. So why not just...
And kind of the same strategy too, I think, and the same ideas. Like what I'm going to be doing on Ronnie Talks is going to be very similar to what you're doing on Tony Talks. It's obviously just going to be a different take. It's going to be my perspective. It's going to be more built around, I guess, my character, and more built around me personally, how Tony Talks is built around you. But people can look forward to basically the same things. I mean, we're gonna have interviews. I'm sure Tony will be on my show. Interviews with any guests that we can get on. I mean, Tony's been great with being able to get guests for him. I know you've had Joe Jorgensen on. I know you've had people that have talked about psychology, meditation, finance. I forgot the guy's name, but you had the famous guy. He was on Joe Rogan's podcast that
Daryl
infiltrated
Davis.
the KKK. He's actually say again.
Daryl Davis.
What was it? Daryl Davis, right?
Yeah.
Daryl Davis, and he's actually making the rounds in the media again right now. I actually saw recently he was going on somebody's show. So yeah, I mean Tony's been great with getting guests. Just the same high quality. Yeah, as I say, high quality, right? Just the same high quality guests and topics that we've been talking about on Tony Talks. Yeah, it'll be guests, conversations, sports, media. Very general, and hope whoever listens enjoys it.
Yeah, and this idea, this concept, obviously it's a living concept. So Ronnie and I, he slides my DMs all the time, sends me these fucking pictures. I'm like, dude, take it easy. But eventually we get to talking about things, and who knows how it'll evolve.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure things are not going to go as we planned, which isn't a negative thing. That's
Right.
positive, because if things aren't going as we planned, that means it's growing and it's moving and things are happening. So I fully expect that to happen. Yeah, I listen. I expect a good time. I expect it to be interesting, entertaining. For anyone that hasn't listened to things that I've done before, I find it very interesting to talk about topics that I kind of know nothing about, that most people know nothing about, but things that we can look up and research and discuss and try and learn more and feed off each other and even give each other ideas. One of my most listened to episodes that I ever did was an episode that we called Religion versus Science. And that was when I had the Life's Not a Box of Chocolates podcast, which you could still go back and listen to. And on that show, there's four of us. We were four hosts. But religion versus science is a very divisive topic. And we actually wound up, and this wasn't planned, but we wound up being 2 versus 2 on either side of it. So, those are the type of things that I like to talk about. Talk about dreams, what goes on when you're dreaming, how do dreams work? You know what I mean? Things like that. There's been multiple reports of multiple asteroids coming close to hitting the Earth this year in 2020. I like to talk about things like that. Things that it's entertaining, it makes you think, and it's also educational.
Mm-hmm.
Like, not just making you think, you'll actually learn something. Those are the type of things that I like to talk about. And then obviously we'll also have just our episodes that are just bullshit. They're just fun. We'll have our sports arguments. I'm sure I'll have a couple people on here that I'm going to be fighting with and arguing with. So I think it's going to be a lot to look forward to. I kind of can't wait to get it rolling. Honestly, it's been a few months. I think I haven't done my own podcast since March.
It might be an interesting. It might we might do like a joint show where we could, if we have like a debate or something. If it's like a big enough idea, we might be able to do something like that. That's not even something we talked about, but that just shows how things.
Right. There's the organicness of and then that leads to the orgasmicness of the podcast.
Yeah, like I said earlier, Ronnie always comes on the show.
Period.
Yeah, because we talked about setting up a debate and stuff like that, and like that's still. And when you said religion versus science,
well, the debate thing that I messaged you about came from more of an argument that I was having with a friend about socialism and capitalism and
putting this shit on blast.
Like I kind of got tired of.
We're gonna get this shit moderated.
I said, hey, would you actually be interested in a debate? And he said, yeah, but so I mean, definitely debates are definitely something that I'm interested in, and things like that, man. Just engaging podcasts is really what I'm looking to do. Just engaging media, thought-provoking stuff, conversational stuff, things that I want the audience to walk away from it and go talk to someone else about the topics that we were talking about, or things that we learned, or something we sparked their interest, or something they disagree with. I mean, anyone that knows me knows I'm a big believer in conversation. which is, obviously a reason why I do this. And conversation doesn't work, really. Real conversation doesn't work unless there's a real disagreement. If you're disagreeing with each other, what are we really talking about? There are obviously a conversation can work if you agree with each other, but
you could be like educating things and.
Right. But a full conversation, I fully invite disagreements.
I disagree with you.
Confrontation, disagreement.
Personally.
I don't shy away from it. You don't disagree with me?
Yeah, I disagree.
Well, we can't talk anymore then.
Well,
you hold on. You disagree with my thoughts that I invite disagreements?
I disagree with your thoughts that like you need like a disagreement for something.
I don't think you need it, but
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you because I'm disagreeing.
Okay.
So,
Because you're just disagreeing. See, at first I couldn't tell.
See, look, right away he's ready to be like, well, let's talk about this for a second. And that's the type of high quality content you're gonna get on Ronnie Talks.
That's it. Argumentative.
I think you're more like I'm more let people get their ideas out and kind of steer things. I think you'll be more liable to, if you have a counterpoint, you're going to mention it right away.
Yeah.
I think that's fair.
Say that. I think I'm definitely. I'm not comparing to you, but just in general, I think I'm definitely more of a steer the conversation, especially as a podcast host. Kind of steer the conversation, control it to where I want it to go. But at the same time, if I have a point to get across, I will get it across. I do have a bad habit sometimes, and this is why sometimes I will cut people off, and I don't do it on purpose. But I do have a bad habit sometimes of thinking about what I want to say when they're done rather than letting them finish and listening to what they're saying.
Yeah, that's just part of
I don't want to lose my train of thought. Yeah, it's also because I don't want to lose my train of thought. But hey, I'm ready to go, man. I'm excited.
Awesome. And real quick, while we'll just talk about tomorrow's 9/11. Today's 9/10. Yeah, tomorrow's 9/11.
Yeah, today's Thursday, September 10th. I think it's very appropriate that it falls on a Friday this year.
Why is that?
This year's been very doom and gloom because I think it's very relaxing for it to be on a Friday. I think if it's a Saturday, it's the whole day is taken over by 9/11. And on a Friday, people are still working. It's a slow day. It's a relaxed day. I'm actually going to be I work right now about a block and a half away from the Freedom Tower. So I'm literally right where the towers were 20 years ago. And, I think it just seems like it's just going to be a more relaxed day, and it's going to be more, I don't know, it just seems more relaxed, quieter. I feel like if it was in the middle of the week, it wouldn't get the attention it truly deserves.
It needs to be.
And if it was on a Saturday or Sunday, it's overwhelming.
I'm pretty sure the day when it happened, when 2001, that was a Tuesday. If I remember.
Yeah, I think it was a Tuesday.
Because it was just like
I think you're right.
Crazy day.
It was a middle of the week. Yeah, it was. Yeah. I mean, it's this year's going to be very different for me because this is the first time that I'm that close to where it happened on the anniversary. Like, I've been in that area plenty of times since then, and it's never truly crossed my mind that I'm standing kind of on hallowed ground.
Mm-hmm.
And since basically yesterday, I've it's kind of not been on my mind, but I've definitely noticed it more and been more aware of the grounds that I'm standing on.
You were in the seventh. You were in the seventh
exactly
grade.
Took place.
You were in the seventh grade in 2001.
We're exactly the same age, aren't we?
Well, I skipped ahead a grade when I was younger.
Oh, because your birthday?
No.
Or you're a genius?
I'm smart. No, dude, you remember me in high school? I think I was skipping grades.
Yeah, I was in seventh grade.
I'll never forget where I was. I was in Miss Mazza's class in IS 24.
IS
Who is
24.
my
I didn't
gym
know you went to
teacher.
IS 24.
Yeah, IS 24, Staten Island, New York, represent.
I went to
So,
St. Charles,
yeah, but
which is like up the block from there.
oh, it's like, yeah, yeah. So yeah, I was in Miss Mazza's U.S. history class, actually, ironically, and she was. I've never met somebody that until like now, because it's coming out now, you see people choosing sides, but I've never met anyone that loves this country as much as her. And it was completely appropriate that she was a U.S. history teacher because she really was like a true patriot. And yeah, I'll just never forget being in class. She gets pulled out of class, comes
Mm-hmm.
back in crying, kind of tells us what happened, but not really because the news was still reporting it was an accident at that time. And then she actually went and grabbed a radio and put on one of the radio stations, and they were talking. Every radio station was talking about what happened, and she started crying even more, hysterical at this point. And kids in class were crying. Nobody really could comprehend what was happening. And then the assistant principal came and pulled her out into the hall and told her that she has to turn the radio off and that she cannot do that with students, that she has to keep her composure and she's got to relax and she's got to be able to maintain the situation, which I understand, but I also understand in that situation, some people may
There's
not
no
be able
blueprint.
to handle their emotions.
There's no blueprint for how to
Right,
handle that
right. There's
situation.
no blueprint for it. We don't know what we're supposed to do. And then they put us, the whole school, or they did it by grade. That part I don't remember, but they put us all in the cafeteria. Yeah, they put us in the cafeteria. I think they kept the sixth graders in their classes, or they put them in the gym, and they put the eighth graders in the auditorium. And all of a sudden over the loudspeaker, you just start hearing names being called, and everybody's going home one by
Everybody's going
one.
home. Yeah.
I got picked up. I got picked up by my mother. She was with a friend of mine's mother. We all went home together. Wound up going back to my house, and from the steps in the front of my house, and they're not tall steps. It's like 3 steps just to get to the front door. You could see right where the towers were from my house. You couldn't see the towers when they were up, but you knew where they were because there was just I don't know, it looked like 5 miles long of black smoke.
Yeah, just smoke
above the city, and you could see it in a distance. Yeah, I'll never forget that.
Well, hopefully, because by the time this comes out, it'll be past 9/11. So hopefully it was a relaxed day, and hopefully it's a day. But I would like is for people to not be so like we said arguing, but if you're disagreeing with somebody, maybe come together on some things that you do agree on. Because if it's a member on 9/12, how united everybody was.
Say. You keep seeing it in memes and being shared on the internet, but really, I mean, it's not a meme, and it's not just an internet thing. And people really do, and not just today, not just tomorrow, and not just the day after. People really do need to remember what it felt like at, what was it, 8:43 in the morning when that first plane hit, I think. And then the next one hit a little while after that. I'm not sure if the time is right, but it was something like that. People need to remember what it was like that morning, wondering if people that you knew were going to be able to come home that day. People need to remember what it was like a few hours later when you couldn't even call people that weren't even in Manhattan. All cell phones were down. All phone lines were down. People need to remember what it was like the next morning on 9/12 when America
8:46
8:46
is when the first flight crashed.
And the next one was around 9:15, right?
9:02.
9:02. Okay. So
9:28 is flight 93. I know that's when it got.
People need to remember what it was like waking up the next morning on 9/12 and on 9/13 and 9/14. And like I said, it's not just an internet meme. It was really, we changed the way we lived.
Yeah, memes
And
didn't
we
exist
took pride.
back then.
We took pride in being American. And it was like somebody went after your family is what it was like. And everyone felt that way. And everyone stood up and felt that we had to put the red, white, and blue on our back and fight back, whether that's as citizens in the street, meaning live our lives and not live in fear, or that meant going after the people that did this. Now, we could argue over who did it. That's not what we're talking about here.
Talking about the unity.
Right. And I think that's what people, and it's hard for younger kids, obviously, that were really young at the time or that weren't born yet at the time. So the responsibility is on everyone else. And for, like we have parents right now that were alive during that and went through it. And I don't even mean in the rest of the country. I mean right here in New York.
My dad was
my
dad was in the National Guard.
Wow.
When I got
ahead.
pulled home from school, he was putting his uniform on.
Really?
To go
into Manhattan?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, my point was that, we have people that weren't alive at the time or that were really young, and their parents now who did live through it, their parents who did live through it, a lot of those people are the ones burning things down and talking about death to America and being anti-America, basically, and pushing for socialism. And I think that's why we're going to have at least half of a generation of kids and half of a generation of citizens that we always say 9/11 never forget. They're going to forget because it's not being, the morality of it is not being handed down from the parents and the seriousness and what it was like going through it. Because the people that did live through it and are so anti-American, they forgot.
I'll talk about something positive.
Sure.
Before we wrap it up now.
Yeah.
But that was good.
But real quick before we do push past that, I just want to say the reason why we wanted to talk about it is because it is something that needs to be acknowledged. We're both New Yorkers. I mean, we're from Staten Island. I know you're not here anymore, but listen, we're New Yorkers. A New Yorker is a New Yorker, and it's something we went through, and it's just not something that we wanted to just let come and go without talking about on the podcast and just acknowledging what did happen 19 years ago, and basically that tomorrow is one of the anniversaries.
Tomorrow's an important day. It's an important day not to forget.
Right.
And to me,
we just wanted to make sure everybody knows that it's still in our memories, it's still in our hearts, and these two people here today on this podcast didn't forget and won't forget.
And I think it's especially important, even beyond 9/11. It's important to remember how 9/12 was, right. How 9/13 was, like you were just saying, and how we need to stop.
I was one of those kids. I was one of those kids out in the street with a sign that said "Honk if you love America" after 9/11.
Yeah,
almost every car honked. Go do that now.
That's where you get egged.
You egged. You might get shot. So now we can move on to another to a positive thing, because now it just. All right. Well, anyway, yes, 9/11, very important day. We don't forget. We will always acknowledge it, and that's it. That's all we wanted to make sure we said.
Put the Ronnie Talks logo back up.
I like that one. That thing's fire.
You said it's fire. You said it's fire.
Yeah, it's dope. It's fire. You know what I won't say though? You know what I won't say?
Lit.
The L word. I don't use the L word.
Lit.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, dude. Some kid said to me one time, he was like, "Yo, those sneakers are fire." Okay, I don't know what the fuck he said to me, but it was like this kid.
Fire's cool.
He was like
fire
20.
Just came from hot.
Yeah, I know, but I was just like, I was like, they're fire, yo. He was like, "Yeah, fucks with them." I was like, "Oh yeah," and I didn't know what to say.
You've seen the movie How High, right? With Method Man and Redman.
No, I haven't seen it.
Really?
I don't see.
You
I
need
don't.
See, you need to watch it. But it's Method Man and Redman, and they're going to college, whatever, right? So they wind up getting interviewed by Harvard. And if you see the guy who is the dean of Harvard, or not the dean, I forgot who it was.
I
Whoever
think
was
I
the
seen. I
counselor,
think
maybe?
I seen it.
Wait, so he's telling about Harvard, whatever. So they ask like, there's women, whatever. So Redman goes, all right, I'll fucks with you. Method Man says, I'll fucks with you too. And the guy from Harvard goes, great. So we'll fox with each other.
I think that's a
Great movie.
I think that's a good note to close out on.
There you go.
With Ronnie Talks coming on the network, I
Come
fucks
fox
with you,
us.
you fucks with me, and together we're fucking. And we'll have guests that are more mature than us.
Yeah, we'll have times where we're gonna have to act mature because of our guests too.
Yeah, that's like that's like most of my podcast. I'm like,
yeah,
I could make some jokes, but I'm like, don't get carried away.
Yeah, no Ronnie Comes jokes.
Yeah,
no
yeah.
porn jokes. No, if you couldn't tell, we went to a Catholic boys' high school, so that's the
Idiots.
Here's your product of Monsignor Farrell High School.
Vir Fidelis.
Yeah, Vir Fidelis. Better believe it. Yeah. So I don't know. You got anything else?
No, man. When your show's ready to roll, we'll pump it out and everything. I'm excited. And I'm excited.
The only thing I need to decide as far as putting out the show, I don't know if I'm gonna delay the first episode and pre-record, or if I'm gonna do what I usually do and just record every week and put it out rapid fire. I don't know. We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see. It's evolving, like we said.
Yeah, it's evolution. That's it.
Evolution, just like they told us at Monsignor Farrell.
Yeah, and one of the greatest factions in wrestling.
Oh, it's debatable.
What?
All right. Listen, I'm gonna wrap it up.
Well, we'll save that one for next time.
Save that one for next time. Thanks a lot, buddy.
There's a debate. All right. No problem.